Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video. There's another paid request, this time from Frame by Frame. And he wanted me to talk about Stranger Things Season 2, Episode 8. And anyone who want to request pretty much any type of video, feel free to send them either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And yes, this is the type of episode I was talking about when I was saying before. And honestly, this is one of the best episodes of the season. Finally, stuff is happening. There's a sense of momentum. There's a sense of something fucking happening. I get it, you want to stop and do character development, but season 7, the episode 7 was completely pointless. Anything you wanted to deem from the 11 character, you'd have done in 5 minutes when she saw her mom. Because all the mom, it's my mom. She teaches him one or two things, which is what happened in episode 7 when the sister taught him one or two things. She taught to her mom. She misses the people in town. She goes back. Boom. You could have done that in 5 minutes, and episode 6 or whatever did not even need episode 7. And a lot of times it felt like the show was going in slow motion. I've said this before. I'll say it again. This seems like a show, just like season 1, that would work better as a miniseries than as a fucking 9-episode show. Does it seem like there's a lot of filler, or there's characters I don't really care about? Like Max, I still don't care about Max, the girl. I don't care about her older brother. And the reason he's an asshole is because the dad is an abusive asshole. I don't give a shit about this. This is not needed. It's like, it's only here so the one kid Lucas has something to do. I'm like, well, there's others. I'm sure there's other stuff you could have him do. But here, there's actually stuff going on. It's actually at times suspenseful, or at times pulls you in, keeps you engaged. The first half is this fairly suspenseful set of sequences where characters like Sean Astin and Winona Ryder and David Harper and the kids, they have to try to find a way to get out of the hospital that's now infested with these creatures. Now, granted, I wish the creatures had some practical effects, because you want to make this big 80s aesthetic with the look, the synthesizer music, and the music, very solid. The look of it, good. And the cinematography, I like the way the hospital is lit, especially when the power shut off. And it gives a nice gloomy feel to it. You get some nice wide shots when the facility loses power, and you get the sense of isolation these characters are at. And then when people like Sean Astin has to sneak into the basement in order to get the power back on and get the computer and unlock the doors, nice sense of build up to that. What's going to happen next? I just wish the creatures were practical. There's stuff in this that you could have had a practical creature effects, maybe puppetry work, maybe animatronic work. And again, for a show that I guarantee you had a fucking budget compared to the success of season 1. And you know what? Maybe knock off some of those episodes, and the amount of money that were episode 7, all the money put into episode 7, actors, locations, stuff you had to build, use that money and make practical creature effects. I guarantee you, if I ask someone, which would you rather prefer? Take the money and make these creatures practical, puppetry, trickery of the camera, showcasing like where you have the camera to hide any semblance of flaws, maybe some animatronic work and close-ups. Or this episode 7 that was completely pointless, like a backdoor pilot that went nowhere. I know there's one guy, but they haven't done season 4 or 5 yet. If the fact that they haven't done a damn thing in season 3 pertaining to this, and people confirm that, yeah, I think that's a fucking lame duff fuck of a thing, because who knows if they would have gotten a season 4 or 5. They didn't know. They don't know for certain. For all they know, things dwindle, they don't know, we're done. And then what? Until it's proven otherwise, I'm going to continue to say it was a pointless fucking episode. And even if it wasn't pointless, which I think it was an uninteresting boring episode with characters I didn't give a shit about. But here, fine, we're back to the characters that we do care about. Sean Astin, easily one of the best parts of this season. His character Bob is very likable. He's very easy to root for. You feel sorry for him. And spoiler alert, when he gets killed, because he's not perfect, he fucks up, oh, Bob, and he gets killed. Now, I had a feeling that was going to happen, because there's going to be some kind of big emotional thing to lead into our finale of this season. So it's not that I was surprised. I go, yeah. And I felt this death more than Barb. I'm sorry, Barb, whoever the fuck that character was season 1, I didn't know anything about her. I knew nothing about her. I knew nothing about his character. I can't name 3 things about her other than she died. So I don't give a shit. Here, they did a nice job developing this character. I felt sorry for the character. They gave a little bit of nice reverence where the characters did just forget about him. Winona Ryder is very sad about it. Even the other kids are a bit sad about it. Nicely done. And then the second half, or the finale of this episode, is we know this kid it will see what he sees. In order to find out this mind flayer, which is this hive mind, if we fuck up the boss, they'll fuck up all the other creatures. We've said that before in plenty of other movies. That's what I mean. It's not the most original idea. I mean, a few weeks ago I reviewed The Puppet Masters from 1994. That also dealt with a hive mind, and if you fuck up this, then you do this. There's many other movies that deal with a hive mind. Slither did that. It's a trope that's done plenty of times. So again, it's not the most original show. So I like the aesthetic of the show. I like the music, the score, especially when they're making the shack up because they're going to wake up the kid, but they don't want the kid to know where they're at. So when they're making the shed to seem as if there's no way to pinpoint their location, the score is very well done during that scene. Or the fact that they're talking to the kid and the kid's answering these questions. Well, he's not really answering the questions, but secretly he's doing it with Morse code to he can't say it because he's possessed, but through Morse code. I don't care for this that the song they play is "Should I Stay or Should I Go?" I think there's plenty of other songs you could have played during that. I'm trying to think of what other songs, but the songs I'm thinking of would not be subtle. I don't know why the song that popped up is "Where is my mind? Where is my mind?" The song at the end of Fight Club, but that doesn't really work. It'd be too subtle in the head. Where's my mind? Yeah. I just think there's other songs that could have been played than "Should I Stay or Should I Go?" Maybe because I'm not really big into that song either. It's not a song I listen to. I don't hate the song, but it's like, aren't there better songs to play than this? Oh, just me. And the way it ends is fine. Where this creature dies, once they found out that... It finds out where they're at. This creature tries to attack. It gets killed. When the door's opening, you know who it is. And of course, it's Eleven. And I like the music. I like the look that Mike has with Eleven. Nice emotional moment. The fact it took 8 episodes in, and we only have 1 more to go, I think is kind of ridiculous. Like, if this was maybe a 5 episode... Like, if this was a 5 episode thing, or like a miniseries, and you get to maybe halfway through, and you have that moment. Okay, cool. You spend half of it, they're back, then you can get moments where they're becoming friends again. But the fact that boom, they're back, and then just 1 episode, all the stuff that's going to happen, Like, moments of character interaction that should happen should be between Mike and Eleven, because that was one of the central friendships, interactions in season one. That was like one of the, I would say, the big primary character interaction was between Mike and Eleven. And the fact that that's in the back burner for most of the season until pretty much the last episode is a confusing thing. Oh, to go on this arc. What arc is it? Where's my family? Oh, this is my family. Okay. You could have done that in half the time and just do that with the mother character. She finds her mom, but then her mom is in this state of mind. She teaches her a few things, but realizes you can't stay here. There's nothing I can do. I'm in this vegetative state. They treat you well. Be with them. Maybe I have a moment where in that black, what you call it, void, that's when the mom can talk to her. Maybe show images of the people she met in season one. The mom hugs the daughter. They go their separate ways, and then she moves on from her mom, and then that's why she travels back home. Not this whole wannabe heroes, if you remember that TV show, fucking backdoor pilot shit with episode 7. That, what I said before, would have been faster and would have worked, I think, even better. Because it'd be the mom, not just this random sister. Kind of sister. But this episode, I really don't have, other than I wish there were practical effects. Again, this whole 80s mindset, but the one thing that makes the 80s work is the practical effects, and that's what you don't use. As like you're referencing throughout the season, you're referencing stuff like the Terminator, or hell, John Carpenter's The Thing poster. I'm like, oh yeah, that movie has better effects. You have really so CGI. That's like the effects wise. That's like the big detriment. Like I said, cinematography, lighting, and the hospital setting works well. It's the score, for the most part, the usage of songs. Again, should I stay or should I go? Whatever. The acting, I have no issues. Now that scenes are finally starting to happen, it's nice when things are starting to happen. Paul Reiser, I appreciate the fact that, wow, they didn't make him a fucking typical bad guy. They didn't make him Burke from Aliens. You know what? I didn't see that coming. I give props to that. I figured, okay, either this or Sean Astin, one of them's going to be a bad guy or a turncoat. They didn't do that. Again, I give credit to that. Wow, thank you for proving me wrong, show. I appreciate that. Paul Reiser wasn't Burke from Aliens. He stayed behind to help them out, look at the computer monitors, and wasn't a douche. Okay, again, kudos to that. This episode, I would say, is the best episode so far of the season. Sadly, it's one of the last episodes of the season. So there you go. So, I mean, I'm not a big Stranger Things fan, as I've come to realize. There's things I like about it, acting-wise, cinematography-wise, music-wise. So I don't hate the show. There's enough aspects that I can say I like it, but is it the end-all, be-all? No. Or do I have issues with it? Yes. These are seasons that should be 5 episodes long, not 9 episodes long. They should be mini-series, 3, maybe 4 hours, not... I think there's a lot of stuff that could be cut out. There's a lot of subplots. Barb, I don't give a shit about all that. All the stuff with the older sister and the Will's older brother. You could cut all that out. I didn't give a shit about that. Thankfully, this is like, here's the plot. We're going with the plot. We're not deviating to 18 fucking sectors. That's when it works the best. That's when the show works the best. When the characters are on one storyline, frame of mind, we're going here. You do still have your little character interactions. That's fine. But we're on this one goal. It's like, oh, we're 9 episodes. We gotta find a way to fill this up. Don't. Don't. If you have your story, it's like, well, there's only 5 episodes, then just make it 5 episodes. That's just my frame of mind. But yeah, this was a good episode. I don't have much to complain about. So with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.